Okay, we're recording.
Here we are. It's Motivation Mornings with Marnie and Melissa. Yay! Crowd noise. Yay. Hi. I'm Melissa Houston. I'm a health insurance specialist and financial planner in Victoria, BC, and I love homemade soup.
And I'm Marnie Dangerfield. I'm a wellness and intentional creativity coach who fumbles with technology a little bit. And I have a new headset this morning because my other one broke. So please do let me know if I have sound issues.
We got some good morning messages already. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Leanne. Thanks for joining us today. But that's exciting. New headphones. Ooh.
Yes. So to go along with this fancy, did anybody notice I guess we gave people some time to see the new opening you created. For those of you who were there live, getting to take it in before we came on, share some love for Melissa for this. It's so awesome.
I had fun making it.
I guess we better get started. Give a bit of an overview. We always like to start with what's inspiring us this week. Then so I'll start, then Melissa will go, then I'll be sharing a wellness tip. And then we're going to share our contact information, and then we go through our gratitudes. We've added gratitude, what we're grateful for this week, and then Melissa will round us out with a fabulous motivational quote.
Yes. Our value statement. Today we gather
in the spirit of possibility,
in support of community,
to encourage holistic well-being,
to empower our authentic selves,
to share appreciation,
to express compassion,
and to enjoy this gift of life.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, are we going to dive in?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I just noted inspiring is Leanne's rah, rah, rah. Thanks for that, Leanne.
Yes. Rah, rah,
rah. So inspiring me this week. So I know in a previous episode, I can't remember which one, I talked about how our local news station, Czech News, has a feature called The Upside, where they, since COVID started, they're focusing on positive things in the community. And they shared one last week, and I was like, that is so inspiring. So I'm going to share it. I'll share the link to the story if people want to watch the video. But it's basically about a local woman who's 78, but she's taken on the 80 ways to basically push her comfort zone. What is it called? There we go. Embracing 80 challenge. Sorry, my notes. So she's taken on the Embracing 80 challenge. So she's 78, and so she's decided to push her comfort zone in 80 ways before she reaches the age of 80. And so it was just such an inspiring thing to watch her push. She did something I wouldn't even do yet, like jumping off that big slingshot thing in Nanaimo over the river, paddle boarding. She's been dog sledding. She did some virtual reality things, which did not go well. And it was fun to see her grandkids. She has some grandsons who are just like loving watching her do it. And just the giddiness and excitement she has about it. It was so great. And in the write-up for the piece online, I noticed they didn't give her last statement. So it is at the end of the video, but I'm going to share it because it was the one that really got me. And at the end, she just had this big smile, and she said, a big part of it for his is that you can have enthusiasm until the very last minute. And so it was just such an inspiring message. Like, it doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter what your situation is. It's what you make of it. And, people can kind of think, oh, you're up to 78, play safe. And not that I'm saying go hurt yourself or anything, but she's just taken on this challenge because in a way she's like, she wants to seem like a cool grandma. They're calling her the gnarly Nana. But it's just, I don't know, it's just so uplifting, and it doesn't matter what your age is to try new things. And she was just having fun with it. And so it was just really inspired me. That doesn't matter Doesn't matter when or where. If you decide, you can do it. So that's what's inspiring me.
Oh, I love that so much. And I feel like I did you share it on your Facebook at all
I know I think I shared about a different.
about her? I said, oh, a different person with sort of a similar thing.
She walked a hill every day. It was this big giant hill. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the same one I'm thinking of, but
Okay.
I love the idea. And I certainly hope that I get more inspired to embrace life as I got older. In fact, I was having a conversation with somebody. Who was that? I can't remember now. Somebody had gone skydiving, and I was like, that's one thing I bring myself to do. But I said if I'm ever diagnosed with a terminal illness, I'm going skydiving. So I hope that as I get older, I become less fearful and more courageous and just living life to the absolute fullest.
Yes. Yeah. It's one of those. I just feel there's a lot we can learn from our elders.
Yeah, I hope you share the check link.
I will. Oh.
Oh man, awesome. Cool.
So what's inspiring you?
Yes. Well, this is kind of a throwback / gratitude to you, I think. So it's something that's, I think I originally was introduced to by you at some point in the past on Motivation Mornings, but it's what I'm really digging right now. So I want to bring it back up again. And that's the 10% Happier podcast with Dan Harris. And I can't remember what the first episode was that you had mentioned that I had checked out. But I've been listening to more and more of them, and they're so good. He has a great way of interviewing people, but the guests are really varied too. So the topic is always something that I find value in, whether it's meditation focused or something else about being happy or just improving your life in general. Each guest has their own take on it. And I don't know, I just, every time I listen to an episode, I just feel so fulfilled and inspired and motivated. So I've been really enjoying listening to those. So it's a thank you to you for introducing me to that podcast. And I just wanted to mention it again because yeah, some of our viewers / listeners may not have, been with us for every webcast episode, and they may not have heard about this web or podcast before. So I wanted to bring it up, and I will share the link.
Oh, yay. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it. And of course, I agree. I think it's a great podcast too. So, oh, that's wonderful to hear. And I forgot to mention to anybody here live listening, or if you're watching the replay, please share what's inspiring you or what you're grateful for. We'd love to hear it, and it's helpful and inspiring for others. So please add that in the comments. That would be great.
Yes, I want to hear that.
Yes. I'm hoping our internet connection is okay. Every now and then I get these little messages like, stop saying that. So thank you for sharing that. That's a great reminder. A great tip. It's amazing when we have things that we're listening to that are inspiring and uplifting, how that can help as well. So that's what we're taking in. I guess it's
at least for me, it gets me out of my head a little bit. And especially if you don't have an opportunity to interact with at least for me right now in COVID times, I'm not seeing as many people as I have in the past. And by not having as many interactions in person, people interactions with people in person. That I find I can get in my head a little bit. So so listening to things and hearing other perspectives is always a good thing. And then to make sure that those things that I'm listening to are encouraging my thoughts and feelings in the direction I want them to go in really helps.
Thank you.
There's Wendy. Oh, I need to interject really quick since
Oh,
Wendy's on here. Hi, Wendy. I wanted to share this. I got this in the mail yesterday.
I wish I had mine, Andy.
It's a lovely card from Wendy, and it's celebrating our 1 year anniversary of Motivation Morning. So thank you, Wendy. I wanted to give you a shout out on here to thank you.
Yes, thank you, Wendy. I'm sorry I don't have mine right beside me, but I love mine too. It was so uplifting getting it. It was like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
Good. Well, I'm glad you can see. I ended up, because I keep getting this warning message about my,
so is it wellness tip?
it is.
Oh,
Sorry, my internet seems to be a little unstable this morning.
it's
So I've just turned
creating
off,
a little bit of a time delay hiccup.
yeah. So I've just turned off my, I'm not going to be able to see what people are posting on Facebook. I'm just letting that, hopefully that'll help with the internet connection. So
Okay.
I will just get started and hope for the best with this. My internet is unstable thing keeps popping up. So my wellness tip this week. So I talk a lot about practices and cultivating well-being practices like mindfulness and compassion and joy and nature and kindness and creativity and movement. And so there's a reason, because of course, with practice, those things can boost our mental and physical and spiritual well-being, and it takes that practice to have that build. And one in particular I wanted to mention this week is gratitude. I know I've talked about it before. We've talked about ways to cultivate it, but I think it's just such an important one to remind people of. It's one that a practice that can be fit into a day without too much time or effort. It's just the remembering to do it. I won't go too much in the how-to today, but I was reading, of course, we talked about last week, I mentioned The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. And she has there's this great part in it that kind of leads to a bit of the why, as opposed to the how-to. There's lots of great tips on how to, and a bit of it is mentioned in here, and we've mentioned them before, with, writing it down daily, a few things, or having moments of pause of gratitude. But yeah, so I'll just read a little bit from her book, and just to give you a bit of the why. Why practice gratitude? So in her research, it says, without exception, every person I interviewed who described living a joyful life or who described themselves as joyful actively practiced gratitude and attributed their joyfulness to their gratitude practice. When it comes to gratitude, the word that jumped out to me throughout this research process is practice. I don't necessarily think another researcher would have been so taken aback, but as someone who thought that knowledge was more important than practice, I found these words to be a call to action. And so for years, this is Brene Brown, I subscribed to the notion of an attitude of gratitude. I've since learned that an attitude is an orientation or a way of thinking, and that having an attitude doesn't always translate to behavior. For example, it would be reasonable to say that I have a yoga attitude. The ideals and beliefs that guide my life are very in line with the ideas and beliefs that I associate with yoga. I value mindfulness, breathing, body, mind, spirit connection. I even have yoga outfits. But let me assure you, my yoga attitude and outfits don't mean jack if you put me on a yoga mat and ask me to stand on my head or strike a pose. Why don't they mean jack? I don't practice yoga. I don't put my attitude into action enough to call it a practice. So where it really matters on the mat. My yoga attitude doesn't count for much. And she says, so what does a gratitude practice look like? The folks I interviewed talked about keeping gratitude journals, doing daily gratitude meditations or prayers, creating gratitude art, and even stopping during their stressful, busy days to actually say these words out loud. I am grateful for. When the wholehearted talk about gratitude, there are a whole bunch of verbs involved. It seems that gratitude without practice may be a little like faith without work. Without works, it's not alive. And so that is just a little from Brene Brown on the practice.
Oh, I love that. And that has now inspired me to, because I do, in my intentionality journal, I do have a section for gratitude. I can't remember if I had mentioned adding that. But now I'm inspired to actually say it out loud, because that might do different things in my brain/heart. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I hope other people found that really valuable too. That was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to I'm sorry if you can hear my crazy cats. They're getting a little worked up right now. Here we go. We are gonna go to our contact info. Here we are. We love to hear from you. So feel free to email us at motivation.mornings@gmail.com. If you are not currently on our Facebook page, feel free to check us out there at MM with MM. That's where we post obviously the Facebook Lives that we're now doing. But any resources that we talk about, that is where we're sharing the links for those as well. And Marnie's been posting all kinds of cool things on there lately, like awesome images and reminders. So she's looking after our Facebook page. So if you see anything awesome on there, give a shout out of thanks to Marnie. And then we have our Instagram, motivation_mornings_with_mm. I'm posting reminders on Wednesday mornings and our motivational quotes for the week. Those are kind of just being posted at random times. So you'll just be scrolling through Instagram and be like, oh, there's one. And then we have our YouTube channel where we're also posting the recordings of these. For anyone who cannot join us live and would like to get reminders about when new ones are posted, you may want to subscribe on there. And as you can see, I still haven't done the Bitly thing. My goodness, I mention it every week when I see this screen. But it's got the wow that Marnie likes. So flipping back to do our gratitudes. Ta-da. And should I go first? Yes, okay. Today's gratitude is brought to you by my happy light. It looked a little bit eerie in that light. Ooh, spooky. We've had a great week here, and yes, I'm needing some sunshine, and this is one way of getting something remotely close, and I am grateful for it. And it also makes me a little bit brighter on here.
Oh, I'm glad that's fabulous. I'm glad you mentioned it. I was thinking of that this week because, we've had our smoky skies and it's been grayer and it's getting to be that shifting year. And I know this is the time of year where people are affected by the seasonal change and what happens with that, with the less light. So that's a great reminder that there's tools like that can help. Yay.
What about you? What are you feeling grateful for right now?
Well, I'm going to go with what's in this moment. I had something else, but in this moment, I am just so grateful for this sun. I can't above my head all show. I just so grateful that Melissa Houston, she created this fabulous backdrop. I won't have it every week as my backdrop, but I was so excited. I thought, well, who doesn't want to look at a happy, smiley face sun? I can't point the right way. It just, I don't know. It's just, I'm so grateful for it. I can't stop smiling. I look at it and I can't stop
Well,
smiling.
I'll pass that gratitude along to Canva because that is who facilitated that sun.
Oh, well, it was you creating this fabulous new opening for our show, which next week I'm sure will go smoother. There won't be the gap, but I really appreciate you going that extra mile to create this for us. And just this, I hope, mention also people, what if you're watching or the replay, what are you grateful for today? And are you enjoying this sun too?
With some cute little cat emojis. I guess people can't hear my cats running around. Oh, my mom likes the sun too. She says it's cute.
And I'm grateful for their cat sound too. I love their energy. Like it's great to hear them in the morning. So
It's not any cute meows and stuff running around, but they're there.
they're motivated.
They are motivated for fun. All right, let's wrap up so people can get on their Wednesdays. But first, our motivational quote, which I did not know Marnie's wellness tip was going to be what it was. So again, we're on like wavelengths. I don't know. Thankfulness is measured by the number of words. Gratitude is measured by the nature of our actions. By David O. McKay. So how about that?
It's just out there in the universe. Like, the message is meant to come through.
Indeed, that is what we're all about today. So let's go out and enjoy this gift of life with a grateful heart and see what kind of surprises show up for us today.
Woohoo! Yes. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
See you next
Much love to you all.